Hey guys, it's Jesse. Sunday, open mat. Nobody's here. That's okay. I figured I'd take the time to give you something you can do at home. It's a beautiful sunny day. So I'll give you a short little class. If you can practice it outside. After this, I'm going to the beach and get my son in, get some coffee, and enjoy my Sunday. I hope that's what you guys are doing too. Pretty soon we may be changing schedules to work out for the school and for the new programs, and do some polls on what works for everybody. However, we got to do what we got to do to keep the doors open. So as family, this is for you guys, okay? So today we're going to talk about stance and base, which is I hope you can hear me. This is something that I want everybody to have. If you saw my match, I got thrown, right? I gave so much forward energy. That was the energy he needed to throw me. It's incorrect. And as you see through the rest of the match, I went back to my principles and was unable to be thrown, and kept my base and my weight on him until he finally decided to sit down and wore my opponent out. So what we want to do in all of our fight stances is we always want to make sure that we have these things in order. Number one, when you're engaging or you're fighting with fists, grappling, anything, you always want to make sure that either your body is facing forward in front of your opponent, or you can be completely to the side. To the side is for karate, kicks, punches, and also to help you to avoid strikes in an easier way, because I'm thinner. Well, not me, my belly, but by turning to the side, you're thinner. So when you do things like hide your head and shoulder, you have a boxing glove, it's pretty hard to hit a person who's at your side, moving towards you, and keeping a good base. Here's the other thing. My elbow stays in alignment with my knee, and my fist stays in alignment, or my elbow and fist stay in alignment with my thigh. So I'm always in alignment. If this turns, like a puppeteer. If this turns, okay? This is what gives you the power for the shot. And we're talking karate, we're talking boxing, we're talking kicking, punching, straight punches. Okay, you see when I throw a straight punch, my knee turns. If I throw an uppercut, my knee turns with it. So it's almost like we're puppeteering our legs, like a breakdancer when they're popping and locking or whatever, right? You're puppeteering your legs. So never forget that. Number two, never have your feet so close to each other or cross your feet. There's no balance in this. Always have a wide base. Whether you're all the way to the side and you want to play striking, or you're here and you want to play a mix of striking and grappling, never have your feet right next to each other unless you already have your weight on your opponent, okay? Because there's no balance. To move forward or backward, if I get pushed, I'm gonna fall. Left and right, I'm good. Forward, backward, I'm good. How do I make sure I'm good? Forward, backward, left, and right. Well, here's how we know. I don't know if we can see it on the floor, but you're gonna make a V with your feet. Look at my feet. One, you can do it like this. Take one step out, and another takes a step out. My head stays right down the middle. And again, same rules. My elbow stays in alignment with my thigh here, okay, whether I'm facing the opponent or not. My elbow and my knee stay in alignment. My elbow and my knee stay in alignment. That way my left is just as powerful as my right, whether this foot's out or this foot's out. Now, taking that step forward makes this leg vulnerable for kicks. And that's why you gotta know how to check a kick, turn in a kick, or check a kick, or move out, take a step back, and avoid the kick, okay? So if you feel somebody trying to kick you here, you can either check it, or if you feel one coming in, like we learned, you can grab it, pull it up, right? But for the sake of stance and base, I'm imagining that I'm pushing a truck up a hill. if the truck were to start to fall back on me and I had my feet together like this, I'm gonna get run over, right? And if the truck were to start to fall back on me and my feet were like this, I'm gonna get run over. But if I have a back foot and a front foot helping me to push the truck forward, and then the truck starts to fall, I can always grab the truck. I can always base the truck, or I can move myself as the truck starts to fall and get out of the way of the truck, okay? So base is number one. Without base, without stance, without being rooted in the ground, you have nothing. You're gonna topple over to anything. So what I want you guys to practice, whether you're in line at the grocery store or just playing around with your friends, playing base, face them. Remember the puppeteer, where my knee and my elbow are in alignment. Look at my foot, forward movement. You try to push me this way, boom. That stops me from going this way. You try to push me this way, boom. That stops me from going that way. You try to push me back, boom. This doesn't let me go back. You try to pull me, boom. This doesn't let you pull me. And look at my posture. I never bring my head low. I never fall backward. I always keep my head right here down the middle. As soon as my head starts to go over to one side, my base is compromised. As soon as my head starts to come too forward, over my foot, behind my foot, or over this foot, I'm compromised. And actually, this is what you're trying to do to your opponent when you're standing. If you can get their head over their feet, you've achieved imbalance. You've achieved what you need to do in order to move to the next steps of taking them down. And it should be achieved either by the clinch or by a strike. Your strikes are to cause the head to go over the feet, and you can finish up by grabbing and pulling them to the ground, or finishing up by moving in and killing them for the strike in the direction of where they're falling. But for the sake of base, we want to feel like stone. We want to know that we're locked into the ground. We can bend our knees. We can turn our hips. We can move to the side. We can slip punches. We can rhino. We can guard. We can slap down uppercuts. We can helmet. But no matter what we do, our base doesn't change. Okay, we can push, or we can receive a push and nothing happen to us because we go into that push and feel like stone no matter how heavy we are. So make sure you're always working on having your base. The preferred base for us is facing forward because we want to have our left as strong as our right. And we're not a striking school specifically just for kickboxing because there's no rules. If you have a striking stance and I decide to throw a front kick and this kick gets grabbed, I'm going to get taken down very easily because why? I don't have base on all four corners, right? So that's for a sport-based situation. So we're talking about everything, and even though our torsos are facing our opponent, we have great guard with our elbows in, great guard with our rhinos, okay? We know how to throw our punches, we know how to dip, we know how to slip, we know how to take that grab, how to start turning the person over and getting them off balance, and whatever, tripping, moving forward, or if we're gonna take a stomp kick or a push kick, okay? Everything comes from our base. So let's work our base, let's stay working on this, our stand up, and this is what's gonna give us the power and the posture that we need in order to overcome the battles, not just on the mats, but in life too. We don't wanna walk around like this. This tells somebody that they're imbalanced, but mentally they're imbalanced in their spirit. But a person who can walk in posture and walk with confidence, even if it's a relaxed walk, but they look up, but they can see everything. They see down, they see right, they see left, and their chest is open. They're not afraid to engage, to say hello. These are the people that have already started following some of the principles of base and stance. Base and stance is your first lesson when it comes to martial arts. So take this class very serious. I just posted it on our WhatsApp. I'm not posting it anywhere else. I might take some snippets, but this is for you guys, okay? I really want to see you guys working your base, okay? And remember the little secret of the puppeteering, that my hand and my knees are connected, okay? My elbow and my wrists are connected. So when I turn for a cross, look at my foot, okay? When I go for an uppercut, look at my foot. It wants to go where my hand wants to go, okay? So make sure you're doing that. And my last final words of advice when it comes to your base: we don't want to be hopping. We're not Muhammad Ali out here when we're grappling, okay? Doing all that stuff in front of your opponent, that's gonna get your opponent to leg sweep you very easily, double leg you very easily, because you're disconnected from the ground. Your power and your chi, since thousands of years ago, has been said to come from the ground as the root of a tree growing to the ground. That's why we cannot knock a tree down. That tree is built through years and years of resilience, of winters and storms and wind and stress and all kinds of stuff, just like we are as human beings. And that's what makes it strong and beautiful and provides shade and fruit, because of what it's been through and what it's survived from. But it never travels anywhere. It grows where it's planted, just the way we should. So if you think going to New York is going to save you, or you think you're stressed and moving from Honduras and going to Nicaragua is what you need to do to go be with your friend, that's just a vacation, but you're never going to be able to leave what's inside here. You're going to take all the same problems with you wherever you go. So if you're not growing where you're planted and fixing your problems where you're planted, you'll never be fixed. And we all struggle with that, myself as well. So if you start trying to grow apple seeds and you want oranges, think about that. You're gonna have to uproot that entire tree and plant oranges, or you're gonna have to learn to be happy with apples and find some space and start an orange tree. Okay, it's never too late. So let's talk about our base. We're not hopping around. We're not moving to New York. We're not moving to Nicaragua. We're right here in Honduras, making our life work right for us. And when we make movement, our movement is like a sliding movement. I'm connected to the ground. So when you push, boom, boom. When you try to take me to the side, no way. When you try to, this is the most you get. This is the most you get. I'm not hopping around. The only time I decide that I can start moving is when you're so far away from me. I'm either gonna run, or I can take a couple of steps, or I can move, and then as soon as I start to come in to engage, no way, my chi is on. My posture is on. I don't bring my head low. I don't want you pulling my head to the ground. My posture is up, my shoulders are back, my hands are ready to deal with your hands. And I'm ready to take care of business by getting to the side or finishing you from standing. Okay, I want to get to your side and get around you, or I'm going to go through you. Those are the only two ways to deal with conflicts: go around or go through. We do both here. Jiu-Jitsu is not just going around. There's hard and soft Jiu-Jitsu. And just like in life, you got to go around things sometimes, but then there's some things that you just got to go through, that you can't find your way around it, okay? You gotta go through it, and you gotta kick that door in. Sometimes the window is not open, sometimes there's no locks, everything is locked. And you got no choice but to break that window to get into your car. You gotta fix your window later, So make sure that you understand that our power comes from what God gave us, the earth, this ground. Don't try to leave it. Stay where you're planted. Grow where you're planted. Be strong with the stress that you're going through. We're all going through it. And remember that here is a mental health facility. This is not a gym. So if you need to come in here and talk to your friends, don't be afraid about that. You want to talk to me? Don't be afraid about that. Come and talk to me. You want to come and get some stuff out and just roll, just flow around. You want to play, you need some playtime in your life, come and do it. That's what this is. This is mat therapy. There's nothing like it in the world, and believe me, there's nothing like it in the world, okay? We could talk more about why, but I love you guys. I want you guys to have this place. I want you guys to have the gold, and I want you guys to be able to solve your problems in life. You know, and see those things as nothing compared to what we do in here. All right, so signing off. God bless you guys, everybody. Coach Jesse, I'm out.